In this video we're going to be building a file save. Okay, so it's a command line file save. So if we run it through the command line, you can pass a couple of arguments to it. So one of the arguments is -a, which show you all the file in your database, and you can see now we don't have any file in our database, and you can see other arguments as well, like -u for uploading file. But first, let's kind of see the help message, what it looks like. So when you run it without any argument, it show you that help message. And now let's use the -u to kind of upload a file. Okay, so we're going to copy this file from our file path, and then we're going to paste, and then we're going to put the rest of the file name, of course. Okay, so that completes the part. And then because we say it's a file save, we need a password. Okay, so you only have to kind of enter the correct password. So now the password I use is password, so you can see successfully upload image. And now if we want to download that, all we need to just do is use -d. Okay, so use -d my image. Okay, so enter the password, and you can see successfully download my image. Okay, so you can see the image right here in our desktop where we are, which is the same image as we upload. And now we can see the other arguments like remove. Okay, so remove for removing file, that's -r, and then we can enter the name of the file we want to remove. So my image, enter the right password, and you can see successfully deleted my image. Okay, there's a couple of kind of like error handling, like if you enter the wrong path, it kind of give you this beautiful message like file not found, check file path correctly. And if you want to download a file that is not in the database, you can see no file in database with name of the name that you pass, and you can see it kind of breaks. And that's what we're going to build in. Yeah, so we're going to start with our import. So we're going to first import SQLite 3, so that's the database module, and we're going to import OS for manipulating part. We're going to import sys, so we're going to use sys for handling command line argument. So we can create our database with SQLite 3 dot connect. So we can call our database whatever. So I'm going to call mine safe.db. Okay, so now we can use a cursor to control the database, so the operation on the database. So we can say cursor equal db.cursor. We're going to create a cursor object, and then we can define the create table function. Okay, so inside the create table, we want to have our SQL statement. Okay, so the SQL statement, it is going to be, so we are using a multi-line string. It is going to be create table, and the name of the table is safe, right? Okay, so we're going to call our table safe, and we're going to, whatever we pass inside of the curly braces, the bracket, it is going to be our columns. Okay, so our first column is text, and the text should be unique, and we want another column for storing the extension, right? Okay, so the first one is the name, and then the extension with a maximum of 5 characters. And we want our bin data, so we want to store the binary data that we read from the file, and the data type is blob. Okay, so if you don't know, blob is the data type for storing raw data. Okay, so now we can use our cursor to execute the SQL statement, and we can just return, or we can just forget about it. Okay, so we can call our table now, our create table function, run that, and it worked fine, no any problems. And now if you have the SQLite DB browser, you can actually open up the database that is created, the file right here, save.db. You can see I have the DB SQLite browser, and we can see our table. We can see the schema for the table. Okay, you can see create table, whatever, blah blah blah, and we can see our columns right here. You can see the name, ext, and bin data, and we only have one table. And yeah, so now we can move to the next part, which is uploading file. Okay, so we can create our upload file function. Okay, in order to upload file, we need the file path, so we're going to grab that, we'll pass that as an argument, and then let's first verify before we start splitting if the file exists or not. So we're going to say if os.path.exist path. So if not, okay, so not, if it doesn't exist, then we want to we're using the os we imported earlier. Okay, we're going to be using it for path manipulation. Okay, so we're going to point to user file not found and some message like check file name if exists or not, or let's say path correctly. Okay, so then we can then return. Okay, we don't want to continue. Then else, if it exists, of course it's just going to continue. We want to split the file name and the extension from the file path. Okay, so we're going to say file name comma extension equal os.path.split text and os.path.base name of the path. Okay, so what we mean by the base name is the name of the file. Okay, so I can show you an example right here. I have this file path that I've copied. Okay, so it is actually having the file name with the as the full path. So splitting, this is the base name, that's the image.img.png, that's the base name, and then the name and the png is what we are going to be splitting. So let's just continue, and then now we can have our SQL statement saying insert. So we're going to be inserting into the save table, and by the way, the commands are not case sensitive. Okay, so you can put lowercase. So the columns you want to insert to is going to be the name, the ext, and the bin data column. Okay, and then the values are going to be placeholders for now. So we're going to be using a question mark as the placeholder for all the three values, and we're going to replace them later. And now you can say file to upload is that's the file path that I want to check. That's the path. We're going to open that path in a reading binary mode, and we can say file content is going to be file to upload the read. Okay, so we're going to read that, and we're going to say the call the execute our SQL statement, and we want to pass our replace our placeholders. So first is going to be the file name, and then the extension, and then the file content. Okay, so now we're going to say db.commit. So why we are doing db.commit is that whenever you write something on your text editor, you always save, right? So db.commit save what you have done to your database, and then we can return the file name, and let's print like something to the user like successfully upload that's dot format the name of the file. Okay, so we're just doing that, and now let's run. Oh, we have an error, and I think the error come from the table creating. So we want to keep calling the create table function, so we need to actually add a kind of logic to that statement if not exist, so that is going to check if the table exists, and then it's not going to create it again. Okay, now the error is gone, and then now we can continue. So now let's upload a file. I have a file from my asset folder. The name is img.png, which is actually one of our thumbnails from one of our videos, and let's copy the file path, and then we can call our upload function and pass that path, and then the rest of the path, that's img.png. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so now let's run this, and we can see successfully upload img, which is the name of the file. Okay, so now if we actually check our db browser, we should be able to find that. Okay, so now let's go to browse data section, or the tab will say, and we can see the name, the png, the extension, and the bin data right here. And you can see in this cell we have type of data currently in cell, a png image, and it's actually display what the image look like right here. Most of the time it doesn't, but wow, it's a miracle. I think this one is the upgraded version. Okay, so now let's actually add another thing. Okay, so I have one of our videos as well, one of our video intro. Okay, and let's upload this video into our database. Okay, so let's also rename it. Let's rename it to vid.mp4 for easier name. Okay, now let's just change that. Since they're in the same directory, you're just going to put the name of the file. Okay, so now let's run again, and we can see successfully upload vid. And let's go to our browser to check it. That's the DB browser, and let's browse the data. And right here you can see we have the name, and then the mp4 as the extension. You can see right here we have this binary data, okay, which is actually the binary data of the video that we copied. Okay, so now we are done with uploading of the file, and we need to know how to download file from our database. Okay, so now let's try it out. So now that we have our upload file function, let's create our download file. So we're going to call that download file. We're going to be collecting the name as an argument, and then we create our SQL statement. So we're going to say select, for selecting something, a row. We're going to select the name column, the ext column, and the binary data column from the safe table. Okay, so we can also use an alternative, like selecting all the rows. Since we are going to be selecting all, we can just use a asterisk. So this is going to select all the columns, sorry. Okay, so we're going to add a condition where the name is called the name that we're going to be passing. Okay, so it's like a condition to select the row where the column name is equal to the name we're going to be passing, and then we're going to actually collect the returned item from the execute statement, and then we're going to pass the name. So we're going to replace that name placeholder that we added, and a comma, of course, to add that it's a tuple. And then we can say file data, that's data, is we're going to be iterating over this returned item because it's going to return an iterable. Okay, so I forgot the in, and then file data equal file data index of 0. So because of this outer list, that's why I said index of 0. And now we can just start formatting, getting our data, file data. Okay, so ext equal file data index of 1, and bin data equal file data index of 2, index of 2. Yeah, so with open file data, concatenating it with the extension, so we're going to open that in a reading binary mode. So we're creating a new file in a reading binary mode, and we're going to write the bin data to it. Okay, so we're going to write the bin data to, and then we're going to just return true, and we're going to print something to the user like successfully downloaded, then the file name. Okay, so that format file name. Then now let's kind of try to download a file. Okay, so let's get a name of the file from what we have uploaded. Let's open up our database and let's see. Okay, let's see this img. Okay, so we're going to go at that. So let's say download file, download the img file. Okay, so we're going to run that, and oh my god, we're getting an error. Okay, unique constraint failed, safe.name. Okay, I think that is from the upload file function that I called here. Oh, well, we should get rid of that. Okay, so let's run again. Okay, you can see successfully downloaded img. Okay, so now, oh wow, you can see that image is exactly the same as the image that we uploaded. Great. Okay, so nothing changed. Okay, let me just get rid of it, and let's kind of download the video. Okay, so the video from our database, and then the name is vid, so we use vid. You can see successful download vid. And now let's check our file path, and we can see vid.mp4, and that exactly the same video as the video that we uploaded. Wow, that's great, and this is working fine. So let's just get rid of it as well, and now we can move to the next thing, okay, which is deleting file from our database. Now we're going to create the delete file function. So the delete file function is pretty simple. We're just going to take the name. Our SQL statement is going to be delete from the name of the table safe, where the name is equal the name we're going to be passing. Okay, we're going to delete that row where the name is there, and we're going to execute and pass our name with a comma, of course, and then we can return, or let's print the user first, like successfully deleted the name of the file, so the format file name, and let's get rid of the return statement. Don't return anything. So now let's try to call the file. Let's delete the file image. Oh, I forgot something. So we need to commit to our database. Okay, so we need to save when we've deleted. Okay, so now you can see successfully deleted image, and now let's go check our database and let's see if the image is there. Okay, it is gone. The image is gone. We only have that video. Okay, so now let's also delete that video. Okay, so now let's run. Successfully deleted vid. Okay, now let's check our database, and wow, our database is now empty again. We don't have anything inside of our database. So that's, now we can move to the next section. We're going to create our all file functions, and we're going to not pass anything. So we're going to create our SQL statement, which is select. Okay, so we're going to select the name column, the ext column from the save table. Okay, so everything, all the columns, we're going to select. We're not going to need the binary data, and now we can just execute it and store that in a variable called item. Okay, so now we can say files data. Since there are a lot of files, you can say files data, and then we're going to be iterating over that items. Okay, and then we can say files data equal files data. So this time around we want to reverse the list. We are not selecting the first one, we want to reverse it. Okay, so now we can iterate, and let's say print file index of 0, which is the file name, concatenating it to file index of 1, and then we can just print that. And now let's say if not file data, so we can say, so that it is going to break if there is no file, so you can print like files, no files in database, for example. Okay, and then we'll return. Okay, so now let's say all files, and now let's run that. You can see no files in database because we don't have any files in our database. And let's kind of see, I still have my asset folder, so let me upload that, and let me upload the img.png, and we're going to upload the other one as well. So we're going to upload the video as well, so just paste that, and then vid.mp4 what's wrong with you, so vid.mp4, and then we run that. You can see the vid and the img are uploaded, and you can see the list right there. Let's get rid of this one. Okay, so let's get rid of that, and let's run it again. And okay, so you can see the vid.mp4 first, and then the img. Okay, so reverse order of the list. Okay, so now we're going to go to the handle function. So I want to make a correction from the handle function, and let's kind of try to download a file. Okay, so a file that is not in our database. You can see we get an error. Okay, we don't want our program to crash, so we're going to kind of add a logic right here. Okay, so if not file data, so if the file data is not there, that means the list is empty. We want to print to the user no file in database with name, like let's format with the name. Okay, so we want to return. Okay, so now let's kind of, you can see our program is not crashing if we run it. And now let's say download file. You can see it is not actually crashing. Okay, and let's kind of make it prettier. Okay, so you can see no file in database with files. Okay, that's great. That's it for this correction, and we can jump to. Okay, so right now I just realized something. Let's actually import argpath. So we're going to use argpath. I've changed my mind. We're not going to be using sys anymore, so let's get rid of sys. So let's kind of come here. So we're going to say arg my parser, so let me call it my parser equal arg parse, okay, dot arg parser. So prog, we're going to say prog equal kind of save.py. so this is when it's going to show you the description on how you're going to use it, and like help, sorry, how you're going to use it. And now you can say description, so like what our program is. It is also going to show this message as you saw in the demo, as kind of like the message for what our app look like. So we should call it we say completely hide sensitive file slash data. Okay, so let's say file slash data. No, actually it is just files, so we should just keep it as files. Okay, so then let's say my parser dot add argument. Okay, so double dash u, sorry, dash u, not yu, double dash upload. Okay, so we're just going to call that upload. That's the file you're going to upload. And help is going to be enter file to upload, file path to upload. Okay, and then we're going to have like the action. So the action should be store. Okay, so you should store the value of what it the upload, the next argument after the dash u. Okay, so yeah, now let's create our order parser. That's order argument, sorry. So we're going to say dash d for downloading. Okay, so double dash d download, and then help equal enter file name to download. Okay, and then the action as well. Okay, so the action is going to be store. We're going to also store the value after the dash d, and then the next argument is going to be the dash r. Okay, so dash r, and okay, so we're going to say dash remove. So we want to use dash r for remove. Okay, so help is going to be enter file name to remove. Okay, so enter file name to delete, let's say, and then we're going to add the action to store as well. Okay, so then my parser dot add argument. So for the last one, for the all files, okay, so it is going to be a, and let's kind of say all, and we should kind of have the help message should be show all files. Let's so then the action is going to be store to. Okay, so we want to store if a is true or not. We don't want to actually store the value after dash a or something like that. So now we want to say if my parser, no, sorry, I think I make a mistake. We should first actually I don't know much about this module, or is it library, I would say, but yeah, we need to say the arg parse first, and then we say args if. So we want to check if the a exists, we're going to call the all files, and then else if. So elif a args dot upload, actually, so elif args dot upload, we want to kind of say upload file, and then we're going to say args.upload. Okay, because that's the file path. Okay, so else if args.download, and then we're going to say download file with args.download. Okay, so else if args remove. Okay, so it is going to be remove delete file. Okay, so delete file args dot remove. Okay, and then else it should be aux dot my parser. Okay, I just remember dot print help. Oh, sorry. Also my the underscore then help. Okay, so we're going to be printing the help message. Okay, so now if I run it now, actually, oh my goodness, we're getting errors. Like, I know we're going to get error. Okay, so I think we should add dash a or something right there. Okay, so dash a, and we're going to have double dash o instead, and let's run that. Oh my god, we're getting another error. Oh, I forgot the comma. Let's add that and let's run again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so args.all, not a, so that's the second one we're going to use. Okay, so wow, now we're getting our message. Okay, so we're getting our error help message right here. Okay, so now if we run this again, and yeah, now we can try to upload a file. Okay, so you can see all our things that we passed the help message, and now let's try the dash u, and let's pass a file path. So let's check our asset folder and let's copy this file right here, and let's copy its path and sc.txt noted, and let's say, and then a dash, and then sc.txt. okay, successfully upload sc, that's the file name. And now if we say dash a, okay, so we can choose dash a, and you can see our vid and our image. Okay, so we can actually add a little decoration to that. Right, where should I add it? Okay, so right here before the folio, so all files in database, or let's just say files. Okay, files, and then a column. Okay, let's run that dash a. Okay, so it's looking ugly actually. Let's add a new line after it, and let's run it and see. Okay, so oh my god, it's more uglier, but we're going to just keep it like that for now. Okay, so you can change it if you want. And yeah, so now we're going to see if we can add password to it. So right now we're not going to register any password, we're just going to be putting default password in the code. Okay, so the function enter password, we're going to create it, and we're going to, let's say, define your password. Okay, so you can modify this actually, so we can create it as a database password for storing that password database, we're going to say, or just anything. So we but now we're just going to leave it as an a default value. Okay, so constant, right? We're keeping it as constant, and we're just verifying right here with this if statement to see if the password that is entered is equal actually match the password that we stored, and then we can return true. Otherwise we're going to return false. Okay, and then we can actually print to the user like let's say wrong password. Okay, so yeah, so now we can add all of those to the upload. Okay, so we're not going to add it to the all files. You can check any file if you feel like it, but it should be in the upload and then in the download as well, and as well as the remove. So you can only enter password to upload, remove, and download file. Okay, so yeah, let's run, and now let's kind of say dash d, we want to download let's say the image. Okay, the img, and let's enter the password. Let's enter wrong password now and see if it is going to download. Okay, we can see wrong password and it breaks, and let's try to enter the correct password now. Okay, and you can see successfully downloaded img. Okay. Yeah, so you can see the image right there that we downloaded. Okay, so we can actually do this as well as in the command line if you enter the path. Okay, so since it's a command line application, so you just enter python 3 save.py, and now let's say like dash a, and you can see all our files, and let's say like dash ow, and let's remove the sc instead. Okay, so enter password, we enter our password, and you can see successfully deleted that, and dash a, you can see our files. Okay, so this is the end of our project, and thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and catch you in the next time.